Welcome to the fascinating world of the Svalbard Seed Vault. Imagine a place where humanity's survival is quietly being safeguarded. Intrigued? Let's dive in. Global biodiversity is at risk. Climate change, natural disasters, and human conflict are endangering crops that we all depend on. But don't worry, there's hope. The Svalbard Seed Vault preserves seeds from every corner of the Earth, acting as a backup for our global food security. Nestled deep within the Arctic, its remote location makes it one of the safest places to protect these seeds from any disaster. In this video, you'll see why this vault matters so much for humanity's future. Trust us, it's not just about seeds, it's about saving the future. Now that we know why the Svalbard Seed Vault matters, let's see what makes it nearly indestructible. Get ready to explore its location and design, built to safeguard seeds for centuries. Hidden deep inside a mountain, the vault takes advantage of Svalbard's natural permafrost. It's like nature's freezer, keeping seeds cool even without electricity. At 130 meters above sea level, the vault is safe from flooding, even if all the world's ice melts. Talk about planning ahead. It's tough too, built to withstand earthquakes and even nuclear blasts. Basically, if the world goes sideways, this vault stands firm. Inside, seeds are stored at -18 degrees Celsius, the sweet spot for keeping them viable for hundreds or even thousands of years. Minimal human interference means less risk of contamination. Seeds rest undisturbed, ready to step in if disaster strikes. So that's the vault's design: natural refrigeration, rock-solid security, and long-term seed preservation. Next, let's see what kinds of seeds it protects and why they matter. Now that we know how the vault is built, let's peek inside and see what treasures it holds. Spoiler alert, it's more than just seeds. It's a backup plan for our global food supply. Over 1 million seed samples are stored here, representing nearly every country on Earth. It's like a global library of plants. No library card required. From wheat and rice to corn and potatoes. These are the crops that keep humanity fed. Without them, breakfast, lunch, and dinner would be pretty bleak. Each seed sample is carefully sealed in airtight, heat-sealed packets. No air, no moisture, just seeds ready to spring to life when needed. But here's the twist. These aren't the only copies. Every sample is a duplicate of seeds stored in seed banks around the world. So, if disaster strikes locally, there's always a backup here in Svalbard. So, the vault isn't just a collection, it's a safety net for global biodiversity. And with over 1 million samples and counting, that's a pretty solid safety net. All right, that wraps up our look at what's inside. But what happens when someone actually needs these seeds? Stick around. Next, we'll see how seeds are retrieved when the world needs them most. All right, now that we've seen what's inside, let's talk about how seeds are actually retrieved when disaster strikes. It's a backup, not a free buffet. So there are rules. Let's check them out. First off, only the groups that deposited seeds can withdraw them. It's like a safety deposit box. Nobody else gets to touch your stuff. Fun fact, the first ever withdrawal happened in 2015 when Syria's seed bank was damaged during the war. Thanks to Svalbard, their vital seeds were saved and replanted. The process is strict to make sure seeds are used responsibly. No sneaky experiments or seed smuggling allowed. Plus, the vault's team regularly checks the seed's health to make sure they stay viable. After all, a seed backup isn't much good if the seeds don't sprout when needed. So, that's how the world's seed backup works. Strict access, careful usage, and regular checkups to keep everything ready for action. Up next, we'll see what makes Svalbard not just secure, but also a symbol of global cooperation. Now that we know how seeds are stored and retrieved, let's uncover the secret behind the vault's success. It's all about teamwork, security, and staying neutral. Let's break it down. First up, neutrality. The vault operates under Norwegian jurisdiction. But here's the cool part. It's open to every country on Earth. No politics, just seeds. And guess what? Norway covers the vault's operational costs. No extra fees, no fine print. It's their gift to the world. Security's next, and it's tight. With high-tech surveillance and reinforced steel doors, unauthorized access is a no-go. Sorry, seed thieves, this vault's off limits. And here's a neat fact. Countries that deposit seeds still own them. It's like having a safety deposit box, but instead of money, it's future-proof plants. So, what's the big picture? The vault isn't just a storage room, it's a symbol of nations working together to safeguard our planet's future. Now, that's teamwork. All right, that wraps up the vault's principles: neutrality, rock-solid security, and global teamwork. Next up, let's check out the challenges it faces and what's next for this icy guardian of biodiversity. Stay tuned. Now that we know how the vault protects seeds and ensures access, let's dive into the challenges it faces and what the future holds. Spoiler alert. Climate change and global politics are making its job more important than ever. First up, climate change. As droughts, floods, and heat waves become more common, we'll need crops that can handle the heat. Literally, that means more demand for resilient seeds stored right here. But there's a catch. Regional seed banks are often vulnerable to political instability and conflict. If they're damaged or destroyed, the Svalbard Vault becomes the world's last line of defense. Good news, though, the vault still has plenty of room. With space for over 4.5 million seed samples, it's ready to protect even more biodiversity. But keeping it running isn't free. Steady funding is a must to keep the lights on and the seeds safe. And here's where science comes in. Researchers are studying ways to extend seed longevity, like advanced cryopreservation, basically freezing seeds even colder to keep them viable for centuries longer. Future-proofing the future, you could say. So, what's the takeaway? Climate change and global conflicts make the Svalbard Vault more crucial than ever. With enough support and scientific innovation, this icy treasure chest can keep feeding future generations, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Up next, we'll wrap things up and see why this vault is more than just a backup. It's a symbol of hope. And now, for the grand finale. Why the Svalbard Seed Vault is more than just a backup. It's a lifeline for the future of humanity. Think of it as a global insurance policy, standing guard against agricultural loss when disaster strikes. No premiums, no paperwork, just seeds ready to save the day. But it's not just about emergencies. By preserving genetic diversity, the vault helps scientists develop crops that can thrive in changing climates. It's future-proofing our food supply, one seed at a time. And let's not forget, it's a symbol of global solidarity. Countries from every corner of the world come together here, united by a shared mission, feeding future generations, no matter what challenges lie ahead. So whether it's drought, disaster, or disease, the vault stands ready, guarding humanity's agricultural future with millions of tiny seeds packed with hope. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey into the world's ultimate seed safe, why not give this video a thumbs up? Go on, it won't cost you a seed. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more fascinating stories about science, nature, and the amazing ways we're safeguarding the future. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, we'd love to hear from you. If you could preserve one plant species for future generations, which one would it be, and why? Drop your answer in the comments, and let's get the conversation growing.